Welcome to another edition of the Business and Personal Podcast, where we bring you closer to the people that you do business with and just share some great stories of things going on out there. So today we're excited to have on MaDonna Collingwood. She's the owner and founder of Studio Institute in Denver, and she's going to talk about all the great things she's doing to help people get jump started into their careers, into architecture, real estate world, whatever it might be. So. First of all, MaDonna, thanks for taking out of your time to join us today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So it's the Business and Personal Podcast. So let's let people learn about you a little bit here first. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and what eventually led you to opening Studio Institute.
I moved to Colorado for college to study interior architecture. So I went to 7 years of traditional college. I went to CSU for my master's in interior architecture. And then I worked as a designer and architect the whole time that I was in college and for a few years after, before I opened the school.
Awesome. And yeah, whenever I think about the cost of college for my kids and whatnot, it almost gives me a heart attack. So I can see the emergence of trade schools and why people would want to do that. Obviously a lower cost option, but I mean, it's not like you're getting a less value. You're getting yourself into some very, very good careers. So, what have you seen as far as your students and how much they appreciate the trade school model versus maybe traditional college?
Well, most of my students do payment plans while they are still in school. They might even do like small payments of $100 a month or whatever. There's different scales. But then when they graduate, they only have a little bit left to pay off. Like it'll already be halfway done. And when you go to a traditional college, you don't have to start paying until 6 months after you graduate. And then you're hit with really huge bills of like $500 to $800. So there's definitely a difference in cost and payment plans. And then most of the jobs that they're getting right out of school would be like junior interior designer, or they'll work in interior design showrooms. They also work as estimators and CAD drafters. Some people will start getting an internship or an administrative position at an architect firm and then work their way up. So they learn through the school, but then also more on the job by starting at an entry-level position.
So, what are some of the classes that you offer to help people get into those careers?
A lot of our classes are software heavy. We do a lot of software and technical skills because that's the industry standard for working as a designer. We teach Autodesk Revit for our CAD plans, computer-aided drafting, 2D blueprints. That's what we do in Revit class. And then we have 3D modeling through Google SketchUp. And that's how we build our 2-scale models for our designs. And then we do Chaos Enscape for our rendering. And that's where you take your 3D model out of Google SketchUp into an extension software and make a photorealistic concept for your design. And then we do Adobe Photoshop.
So, now that you've been doing the school here for a little while, you've had some graduates go through there. Have you had a chance to see, what types of people are the best fit for the school?
Yeah, really anybody who works hard, who's willing to come in person and attend virtually and hold themselves accountable to getting the homework and the projects done is a good fit. We have a flexible schedule. We do nights and weekends, so we cater to people who are already design professionals, but they didn't have this software when they went to college, so now they're just kind of continuing their career. And then also we have teenagers right out of high school that want to take a non-traditional path. So we have a big mix of students. It's just about attending the class and getting the work done, basically. We don't grade on like A, B, C, Ds or whatever. We just do project completion and progress. And they work on real life interior design projects in school.
So how long generally does it take for someone to complete the whole process and get into their career?
It's 6 to 12 months usually. It just depends on how many classes they do per semester. Some students are part-time, some students are full-time, and some go longer than a year. Most people will save that internship or like apprenticeship credit for the end. So maybe they'll go to school for like a year and then do a 3-month internship after.
So I'm sure you're pretty confident, MaDonna, like with your connections that you have in the industry and the curriculum that you put into place, that anybody that gets through, you're going to be pretty successful in getting them into a career. How confident are you in saying that someone that gets through the curriculum at Studio Institute is going to get into a good career?
Well, we do sign job placement in our enrollment contracts. So we do sign that will help you with getting a job. It really is up to the student on, going to the interviews and presenting professionally, which we teach in all of our courses also. And I have companies emailing me all the time looking for people. And then I also go through fundamentals classes with them, showing them how to perfect their Indeed profiles and to submit their resumes and portfolios through AI detection software. And I teach them kind of the basics of how to get the job. And I'll set up interviews for them, and then they just have to show up and present themselves, basically.
Makes sense, right? Some of it's on the student, but you set them up as best you can for success. So I'm going to put you on the spot here a little bit, MaDonna. You have a success story to share now that you've had the school going for a little bit, a success story from one of your students that's on to their career now.
I do. I have a student that graduated about a year ago in December, and she was working at a dispensary as a retail associate. And they hired her to do their CAD plans because they have to submit annual plans to the state. So she worked on those in her final semester of school, and those were accepted by the state, and she was paid for those. And then she started an internship with MaDonna Design Group in her final semester, and they hired her on as a junior designer at that time. So now she is a full-time kitchen and bath designer.
Fantastic. I love hearing stories like that. And that's why we're doing this podcast. If I can connect you with one person that you're able to lead to a success story like that, this is well worth our time. So on that note, what's the best way for people to reach you to learn more about the school, possibly get enrolled, and what are some of your key enrollment dates coming up?
Everything is on our website. It's studioinstdenver.com. And we're also active on social media. So we post everything on Facebook and Instagram. It's the same thing, Studio INST Denver. And then our next enrollment is going to be the summer enrollment, and that starts in May. We're doing in-person and online.
Fantastic. Well, there you have it. If you want to avoid the big cost of college, but still get into an awesome, good paying, rewarding career, Studio Institute offers a lot of great avenues for you. MaDonna, best of luck going forward, and thanks again for joining us today.
Thank you.